Hi, I'm Amanda Beard, 7-time medalist. I get my Aquasphere gear at swimoutlet.com, the web's most popular swim shop. Check them out today.
Welcome to the Morning Swim Show for Tuesday, January 3rd, 2012. I'm your host, Peter Bush. In the Phoenix Monitor today, we'll talk to Tony Batis from Palo Alto Stanford Aquatics. The team just got on the list for the USA Swimming Club Excellence Honor. Coach Batis joins us right now in the Phoenix Monitor from Newark, California. Coach, welcome to the Morning Swim Show. How are you?
Very good. Good morning, Peter. It's good to talk to you.
Good morning to you. Congratulations on making that list.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor for our program.
Tell us about your program. What's the training philosophy there?
Well, again, our program is a conglomerate of about 7 different sub-sites in the Palo Alto area. We came together in the fall of 2003 to form what is now Palo Alto Stanford Aquatics, and each site brings its own flavor to the overall view of our program. And I think that's been one of our keys to our success. There's no one definitive training style or pattern of growth. There's a bunch of people who bring a lot of great ideas to the table, and a lot of coaches who bring a lot of innovative ways to make kids better. So I think that's been one of the key things to help us be successful.
Can that kind of be a double-edged sword at times, though, with coaching differences in philosophy and how a swimmer should best be prepared?
No, I don't think so, because I think in general our staff has always been willing to sit down. We meet monthly. We talk about both the short-term and long-term development of our program. Are there going to be differences and different views? Absolutely, but I think that's what makes us strong, is we can talk about it and figure out what is the best approach. If I bring something to the table and the group in general thinks there's a better approach and they convince me, then I'm better for sitting down and listening and learning maybe a different view or a different opinion. The same goes in reverse. So I think it just fosters discussion, and I think it always puts us in a place where we can try to see if we can continue to evolve and be better.
You have about 19 years now with Palo Alto?
Yeah, this is my 20th year. 20th year at what was originally the Palo Alto Swim Club and now Palo Alto Stanford Aquatics.
Well, you're obviously doing something right. Tell us about how the 20 years, maybe your own philosophies have changed. What have you learned as a coach?
It's a good question. I think it's more of a reflection of the period from which I came from to where we are now in swimming. I think when I swam for Peter Dalen at USC in the mid '80s, and then when I went back home to my old club program and helped age group coach there before I came up to Palo Alto. And when I came to Palo Alto, I think I was like many of people of my day. There were periods of real hard training, big volume, a lot of counting of yards. And I don't want to say that there's anything wrong with that philosophy, but I think as I've gotten older, I've taken an approach that for me is conducive to how I want to make my kids develop, and that goes through the process of having very fit athletes, athletes who understand what they're trying to do in terms of movement through the water, and then couple that with intensity and training. And I think the intensity component is not different from some programs, but I think we just do a lot of it on a consistent basis. We really train at a high intensity level and maybe a moderate volume level, and I think the results have shown where we've had some success with a lot of anywhere from sprinters to mid-distance swimmers. We don't typically have a lot of distance swimmers in our program. We do have some, but I think we're probably more recognized for having kids who are able to perform at real high levels at that middle distance to sprint level.
All right, let's talk about a couple of those kids, because there are a few of national prominence right now, starting with Jasmine Toski. She's a senior there. She's going to USC, your alma mater. She's one of the best high school butterflyers, IMers in the country right now.
She's a great kid. She's a kid who, I've said this to a few people, if you walk by her on the street not knowing her, you wouldn't mistake her for a world-class athlete. But you put her in the pool with anyone, and I do mean anyone, she doesn't take seconds to them. She tries real hard. A kid who's about 5'7", 5'8", but works like she's really big, really tough. I think the future is very bright for her. I mean, anything can happen in the sport of swimming, and so I never want to, hedge my bet, so to speak. But I think from the standpoint of her having opportunities to be great in the future, she's done all the work, and I think she's grown both in and out of the pool to the point where I think she'll have great opportunities in the future.
Maddie Schaefer's a sensational sprinter, one of your former swimmers now at Stanford, right there. I imagine the connection is pretty good with Stanford, training there in Palo Alto, and it's probably got the coaches, already there talking to the kids a lot.
Well, again, both programs, both the men's and women's programs, speak for themselves. They've developed great traditions over the year, and Lee does a fantastic job with her program. She has a great group of young ladies, and I was very pleased for Maddie to have that opportunity to continue with her career at Stanford. She had some great options in front of her, but when she chose Stanford, she seemed to be very pleased with her decision, and I think so far what I've seen this fall, she's home for the holidays, and we've been talking a little bit, and she really enjoys the program, the team, and everything around there. From our standpoint, they've been a very supportive group in terms of helping our program try to reach its strides and try to understand where it can go, and they've been very helpful to helping PASA be the program that it is.
Yeah. Can't keep them all there at Stanford, though. Some go over the bridge, like Adam Hinshaw at Cal, right?
Absolutely. One of Scott Shea's products, and Scott sent both Adam and Ben and Nick Trowbridge to Cal, and all three of them are prospering and doing very well there. It's a testament both to Scott Shea and his program and developing those kids in the right way, and then obviously the Cal program speaks for itself, both the men and the women. I think Dave and Terry have set things up really well for their programs for the future, both not just obviously in recruiting, but what they do with the athletes once they get there. As a testament to the two girls that I have there right now, three, Colleen Foch and Camille Cheng. They've loved the environment up at Berkeley, and I think will continue to prosper.
Do you want to stay there for a long time? Would you like to get into college coaching?
That's a good question, Peter. I think when I first got out of college and I started coaching, you always have that itch of going back and seeing if you can do that. But I've developed and built a lifestyle, a program, other businesses in the Palo Alto area. I'm very comfortable in our community. There's been a lot of good things that's happened in my life in this town. And I'm at the stage now where I'm a firm believer that I think I've kind of had my calling now. I'll never say never, but with what we've developed and what we're continuing to develop, I'm pretty happy where I'm at.
Yeah, maybe Skip Kenny asked you to be a successor. That's a tough job to pass up.
I think Ted's got that covered and will do an excellent job with that. I think for me, as long as I can continue to grow in the area, I'll be fine.
That's a good point. Ted does a nice job. Well, congratulations again on the success you've had with your club team, and best of you and your family and your team in 2012.
Thank you so much, Peter. Best to you as well.
All right, that's Coach Tony Batis joining us in the Phoenix Monitor today from California. And that is it for today's show. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.